beat the Salford Red Devils on their own pitch. That takes some getting back from, doesn't it, Phil?
With all the games in this round, this is the one that I was most fascinated to see. Just to be present and see what Catalan Dragons can do in response. Every team, even the team who ends up lifting the prize at Old Trafford, has a bad day, but they bounce back. Are Catalan capable of bouncing back?
Well, their coach Steve McNamara was pretty frank about the response to that and how it hurt that result. We'll see what the response is now from his Catalan Dragon side. And we were talking about the absence of props for Hull Kingston Rovers, with so many of Tim Sheen's props injured, but it's hookers that the Catalan Dragons are missing. Michael McAlorum is unavailable. Alrix da Costa has travelled for this game but isn't fit. And Benjamin Julian, who is the next choice, he's not fit either. So they've gone with Lucas Albert playing at hooker for the first time in his career. That surely is a big gamble, Ashton.
It could very well be. Talk about getting a tutorial at number 9, right in the coalface here at Hull KR.
That's right, and he's in there making the tackle, Lucas Albert. And Rovers with the kick.
Well, the kick from the opposite hooker, wasn't it? Danny Addy, who himself isn't a recognised hooker. That's not where he's played for most of his profession, but he'll do a pretty good job, I think, in the under Tim Sheen's, again in the defence. Well, Kingston Rovers know that they have to defend well. They've had a problem this season. Missing tackles has been the biggest, and conceding penalties. Last week they were penalised 13 times in that game, and yet remarkably still managed to win the match. They won't want to afford as many penalties or possession to the Dragons today.
Well, they're up against a Catalan Dragons side that has found scoring tries very difficult this season. Remy Casti there is one of their try scorers so far. And Matty Smith hoists the kick. The wind will swirl this one around. In fact, he's going to swirl it out of play on the full.
Well, dealing with the conditions is a challenge. You know, you just can't imagine how much this wind is going to affect the high kicks to the ball. He puts it high up. He thinks this is going to come down around the full-back position, but it's drifted probably 25 metres from where he intended it to go.
Every bit of 20 metres there. So Matty Smith is going to have to rein it back in there a little bit. But I'll tell you what, this is a decent start by Hull KR.
They're in possession now. And here is Weller Haraki. Tries to bump off the first challenge from Greg Bird. Bird clings on. Casti could have been penalised there. And here's Danny Addy now. Missed most of 28, well, all of 2018 really, with that ACL injury. Good kick into the corner. The chasers are there, and Tompkins has had to take that out of play. What a great kick that was. We saw Smith's kick go out of play. That was the perfect kick.
That's great vision there. Look at that. It's just popped up on this grass. It's not slippery out there at all, but you know, a fair chase from KR, and Tompkins did really well as a fullback there.
Brilliant kick from Drinkwater on the left side with his left foot. And you know what, fullbacks, they love to score tries, they love to set them up, but they've also got to save them, and he's done exactly that there, momentarily perhaps for the Rovers fans.
Of course, Josh Drinkwater was so crucial for the Catalan Dragons last season in their Challenge Cup final success, and then left the club, couldn't agree a deal to stay, and his kick has put Rovers in this position from where they're attacking now. Craig Hall is tackled. Maguire, try scorer, the only try scorer in the victory at Wakefield last weekend. Matty Smith with the tackle on him. So this is a golden opportunity for Hull Kingston Rovers now. Lawler, bang in front of those posts. Addy, look to his left. Drinkwater, short pass, and scrambling towards the line was Kane Linnett. Couldn't quite get there. Addy might try it himself, but he is quickly shut down.
Desperate defence here from the Catalan Dragons. The last thing they want to do is concede here. Last tackle, kick from Drinkwater.
Drinkwater hoists that one. It's a nice kick, batted back, and it's the Catalan Dragons who come up with it, or did they knock on there?
I think they're going to be penalised here. Well, penalised in the fact that they've been judged by the officials to knock this ball forward. We'll get a second scrum here in this position. Good kick. Hull KR great at challenging for possession.
It's stout defence early on from the Catalans, but you know as well as me, Phil, two sets in a row early on in the game. This is going to be tough for the Catalans to keep out.
Well, here was some inventive play. Kane Lynette pulled down just short of line. Sam Tompkins desperate. Here they go, wide to the left.
Drinkwater, Gini Vai, ball field quickly to the sidelines, and Will Oakes couldn't take the pass.
Just tried a little bit too much there, didn't they? Just tried a little bit too much. It was on there. They got the overlap, but they just couldn't square up. Everything's too cross-field there. No one's squaring up, holding the defender in. I think Catalan's let off the hook there for mind.
Absolutely. 19-year-old Will Oakes must have thought glory was beckoning there for the first try of the game on his second appearance of the season, but the pass went away and Catalan breathed an almighty sigh of relief.
Tony, I'll tell you when, man. I'll tell you when. OK, second row.
And they'll get head and feed.
Heads in. Wait, Lewis.
And we'll try and relieve the pressure they've been under.
Loose forwards out.
Here is Samisoni Langi.
One.
Willa Haraki with a strong tackle. Joel Tompkins in there as well. Tompkins back in the Hull Kingston Rovers side to captain the side, having missed the last two. Albert with the little run. Lucas Albert had a run in the side at the end of last season.
It's a good run from Sam Moore.
Yeah. Catalans need a good kick on the end of this, even if they kick early here.
And here's Remy Casti now. Casti, who's been operating at loose forward for a lot of the time this season so far, but named in the front row. And Gigot puts a little kick in, sits up nicely for Will Dagger, the fullback, another of the youngsters. And Dagger has lost that ball.
Accidental offside.
Catalan celebrates.
Aggressive defence is what we'd expect from the Catalan Dragons. Embarrassed last week. They won't be embarrassed here with that sort of shoulder contact here.
He's a really good player too, Will Dagger, but he's only slight, so I reckon Catalans might have put the marker out on him early and said, look, let's set the stalls out, let's get the kick in behind, try and pick him up and take him back some yards.
Keep going.
Well, Gigot's kick put him under pressure.
OK, Tony.
And they concede the penalty to Hull Kingston Rovers, so the table's turned. And Gigot's return is significant for the Catalan Dragons. He missed that Salford defeat, having picked up a nasty gash on his knee when he made contact with the stud of a boot, and it opened it up. Needed quite a lot of stitches. And Bird with a little step, the 35-year-old.
Move! Goal line.
Right in front of those posts now. Lucas Albert picks that ball up. Not a great pass, but Matty Smith is able to keep it going to Sam Tompkins. Little wave of the hand from Tompkins, but it's to Gigot. Gigot, and then it is a change of directions from Whitley. Whitley is upended.
Mossy hold, Kane.
It was Addy with the tackle. Bird's pass, and Samisoni Langi couldn't take the ball, and Hull Kingston Rovers will bring it away with Will Dagger.
Hold.
Well, that's the question for Catalan. Are they good enough at breaking through their opponents when they get into good field position? Bill's pointed out they've scored only 10 tries so far in the 5 games to date. They've not really got any attacking fluency or potent threat. We're not seeing a player who you think is going to find the way through the line.
No, they haven't early doors yet, but they're good. Their go forward's great. Moa, Castry, they get up the field fine. They just need to find that little last pass to break this whole KR line.
Well, they'll get some go forward from Mossy Masoi, will Hull Kingston Rovers, ever present so far this season of the big front rower, but he and Mitch Garbutt are going to have to get through some work. Lawler with a good run. Lawler's lost that ball, stolen.
Clever stuff from Kenny Edwards there.
Hold.
It's been a brilliant run by Lawler, hadn't it? Hit and spin through the tackle, but Kenny Edwards, when he knew it was a one-on-one, just put his arm over the ball and ripped it free from Lawler.
Quick thinking.
Forwards aren't known for their quick wit, are they? He must be a back rower.
And meanwhile, Rovers are penalised again.
You might say in normal situations, team may kick a goal here from 30 metres out, but with the wind and these conditions, I don't think many kickers would fancy it.
Yeah.
Just wait there, Matt. Matt, just wait. Back up.
I don't think they're going to kick in a touch here. No.
Early penalties conceded. James Child asked them to tap that ball again. And here is Matt Whitley now, the signing from the Widnes Vikings. Whitley on a 2-year deal.
Hold. Go.
A storming home debut against the Huddersfield Giants.
Move. We're back.
Sam Moa now.
Go 2. Play on.
Now then, can the Catalan Dragons make this sustained pressure tell? Here is Williame. Jimmy Kinehorst with the tackle. Gigot, short pass from him. It's batted down, and Catalan will get it back. Or will they?
Well, they would have done, but Joel Tompkins was the one to pick it up. Bit of push and shove going on with Braden Williami.
Okay, Joel.
Joel Tompkins not really interested in getting involved in that.
For the first time, though, prior to this play, Ashton, you'd have said Catalan's attack did look dangerous.
They did, yeah. They looked like they were working towards something there. Beautiful line by Williami there to just get it, just poke your nose through, get that. You just needed to quick play the ball, and as the boys have a little disagreement, it's advantage Catalans at the moment.
It is. They're having a spell of sustained pressure, coming up to the 10-minute mark. At Cacom Craven Park in East Yorkshire. Blustery afternoon, but the sun's shining, and it's the Catalan Dragons in possession. With Matt Whitley.
Move, goal line, Mossy. Goal line, hold.
Went on the England Knights tour to PNG last autumn. Samoa's pass, and Bird did well to take that.
A great ball there from Moore. Big front rower before the contact.
Right on that line. Bird is the judge to have knocked that ball on, and he is incredulous at that decision.
Not too sure about that. We'll have to see. We'll have to see the instant replay here, but. Oh yeah,
he's lost the ball, hasn't he? He's put the ball down on Danny Maguire.
Probably trying to play for a penalty too much there, and might have just bobbled out right at the end. But look at that beautiful play between the two forwards. That's great. It's hard to defend that, as you know, Phil. It's really hard play to defend, especially on your own line. So looks like Catalans without losing their half, one half, sorry, or G-go at half. They're going to play a bit more in the forwards.
Well, that's a let-off then for Hull Kingston Rovers. What a piece in terms of a sigh of relief so far. Catalan really, they haven't had many golden opportunities this season. As we've said, try-scoring has not been one of their greatest assets so far.
You just saw Hull KR then shifting the ball near their own line. Salford had great success with doing that last week against the Dragons. Seems though Catalan have woken up to that threat though, had the space covered.
Great run by Masao there. Get him on the front foot. Here we go.
Haraki, Drinkwater, just a short pass, finds Lynette, middle of the field. Whitley with the tackle. Drinkwater able to hoist that kick, hanging in the breeze, and Fuad Yaha comes up with it. He's got to hold on to it.
All the 10, wait.
I thought for a moment he might have lost that ball, the wingman. Big hit on Williami.
That win's had a huge bearing on this game already, hasn't it? In the first 11 minutes, the halves going to have to get used to it pretty quick. Otherwise, it could be a long day at the office.
Here is Remy Casti now. Stalwart of this Catalan Dragon side, holds the appearance record for the club now. Greg Bird will become a star. He's lost that ball.
Again, has he? Oh dear.
And is this another knock-on? Or is he going to get the penalty this time? The referee says it's a scrum, and Greg Bird is feeling hard done by. Has he got a case?
Well, on that angle, it's hard to see, and I guess that's the angle that the referee had. But it does look as though Kane Lynette's come in and been around it, and then comes off the ball. Dealing with the frustration is the challenge here. We know they were embarrassed last week, 46 points to 0. This game hasn't started with them going over the line and scoring. He's lost the ball twice, but has he got enough experience to cope with this situation?
Oh, most certainly. But it's one of those ones where you find yourself in that hole. The harder you try, the more the mistakes you make. Where that looks like Ken Rhodes is down on injured his knee, or
that would be a massive blow for the Dragons. In my eyes, he's been their best player this season.
Yep, he's been great early doors. Kenny Edwards, he ball player, and he's tough as anything in defence too, tougher than Bernd Soyloin.
I think this is where he picked that injury up. Pretty innocuous that. He's back on his feet.
Doesn't look comfortable.
No. If you're going to scrum trap, you've got to make sure you bound in.
It's amazing if he can recover here quickly enough to play on.
Give it a try by the look of things. He looks like he's hobbling to that scrum.
Just wait, wait.
He heels under a bit of a cloud, but he's had a great start. He had a great start to his Catalan career, of course, with the Wembley success. He's made a name for himself at the club. Here is Wella Haraki. And Mossy Massoy now.
Defence by Bird and Whitley. Not an easy man to stop.
Here's Maguire. 19 Super League seasons under his belt. Danny Maguire, this is the last of them. Lawler. Addy. Haraki. Drinkwater trying to ghost his way through, couldn't do so. Down the short side, Lynette.
They've been
dumped to the ground.
Catalan's right edge so far in this first 10-15, is that?
That ball's been knocked on. And Drinkwater, I think, lost possession. Well, he did lose possession. How he lost it, yeah.
Just wait.
Under the challenge.
Okay.
Well, Ashton made the point about how often Hull Kingston Rovers have been to their left-hand side. Last week, they sent 3 times as much action over this side of the field. They do favour the players outside Josh Drinkwater.
Lewis Tierney, we're talking about absentees. I mean, Hull Kingston Rovers, Adam Quinlan out long term. There was a rumour that Sean Lunt might feature in the squad for this game. He's on his way back from illness, but that didn't happen. Of course, Ryan Lannon and James Greenwood, the latest candidates. And James Greenwood out for the rest of the season by the sound of things.
Which is a huge blow. I've got big raps on young Greenwood. I think he's a very underrated back rower. You know, they're going to have to find a replacement for him quick. And
well, here's Will Dagger. I think Rovers will be in the market.
All the 10, wait.
Talking of season ending, it's sad to hear that Tom Johnston's season is over with a similar knee injury to James Greenwood.
It's the CDM belly of our sport, isn't it? Well, any sport, sorry. His injuries, and especially long-term ones to good players. And I want to wish Tommy Johnston and Greenwood all the best with recovery.
What was the first run here from Will Oakes, the left winger, like Tom Johnston, getting involved. The opponents are offside. This kick to touch is a monster.
That's using the brazier advantage, isn't it, there, Phil?
Wow.
He must have kicked that a good 60-odd minutes. Yeah, best part of.
Well, look at where we put Hull KR now.
Oh, nice trick play there, back to shot, but not executed quite quickly enough there to catch out the Catalan defenders.
Hold, Greg.
Just a little bit sloppy on the pass there, and they lost momentum. Maguire plays the ball. Here is Lawler now. Lawler.
He's had a strong start to the game.
He's having a strong run to the post there. Is George Lawler. Addy. Maguire's ball. Oh, lovely hands. Oh, just shy of that try line now. Tompkins is going to try and drive it over. He can't get it down. He claims it. No, says he.
The two brothers, they've probably done that a million times in the back garden. You're not on my watch, son.
What a
Here we
good
go, quick clean tap. Yeah. 7 tackles. Let's see if Catalans can move.
Well, he tries everything to get the ball down on the line, but he's lost possession in the in-goal area, according to the referee.
Sam was not going to allow brother Joel to have that try. The Tompkins brothers up against each other here at Cacom Craven Park, and Sam coming out on top. Well, underneath, in actual fact, there. And that was a let-off for the Catalan Dragons, because that monster penalty kick had given Hull Kingston Rovers a golden opportunity. Here is Whitley. Still waiting for the first points of this game.
They need sorry, Bill. They need a great end of the set here.
Go for.
Will they get it? Here is Gigo. And Smith very quickly wrapped up by Tompkins. Bird. Gigo, little chip kick over the top. Fuad Yaha will chase, too strong.
Very hard to get the length right on those kicks, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's it. I know we're only 15 minutes old, but that's a killer, isn't it? 7 tackles. You know, you've got 7 tackles.
Well, we're going to end-to-end, and that's good for the supporters here, Hull KR fans, who are desperate to see the team here go on with the first points. Will Oakes takes it forward. We have gone end-to-end. There's been chances, a few chances, close ones. And it's about now 15-60 minutes into the game. Are those defensive lines still moving forward as quickly?
Kinehorst plays the ball. Lawler, nice spin from him.
Move! Hold.
George Lawler.
It's about that time of the game too, where one or two quick rucks might just open it right up, especially against a big team like Catalans.
Well, Haraki just dumped Matt Whitley out of the way as he tried to stop Haraki's progress. Garbutt on.
Yeah, big Mitchy Garbutt on. Probably been one of the form props of this season so far. Looking forward to seeing how he goes again today against another huge pack.
3 tries to his name already this season, Mitch Garbutt.
Can't be doing that as a front row, can you? 3 tries.
2 in 1 game.
I think I scored 3 tries in 6 years.
Back up, Sam.
Lawler plays the ball. And the kick is drilled into touch. And Rovers, through Josh Drinkwater, just ask the Catalan Dragons to work their way out of deep territory. That's Haraki's run.
The strength of Haraki straight up. And the best thing about Haraki too, you can take those defenders off him, and then he's got that late offload too, which is an absolute killer in defence.
Joel. 10 metres.
The sun shining
Keep coming.
at Craven Park, but the wind blowing, as usual, off the river.
Tony. Come on, heads in, Catalan.
Through
Tony,
exposed end of the ground.
Ball out.
And causing 1 or 2 problems.
Whoa,
Here
Danny
is
move!
Samisoni Langi.
That's good, wait.
Back in the centres, he's had a couple of games and they'll welcome that. Referee's whistle for a penalty.
Well, they've had no problem in making ground. They've got a lot of good meter carriers, but it's about finding players or an individual player who can find some points, which is what they'll need to win this match. His kick to touch puts them in a brilliant position, 30 metres from the opponent's line. 5 more plays.
Move! Hold, fellas.
What can they offer in attack?
Go, man.
Lucas Albert, who actually played in this fixture last year.
He lost it again.
Not again.
Okay,
Yes.
That's the 3rd time, Greg Bird.
Is it because players are aware that he will offload late?
He's well-renowned offloader, is Greg Bird, and I just think you can see he's trying. He's trying to get his arm free there, but obviously Haraki's played against him for a long time now, and he knows that he's got that late offload, so he's going to stick on that ball. As soon as he hits that ball, he's sticking.
Tell you when, Danny, just
I know,
heads in,
you
Danny.
can see the disappointment on his face there. He wants to do so well for the team, but it's just not coming off yet. But, you know, he's a class player.
Well, he is. Masses of experience, Greg Bird, over 300 career appearances, including 235 of those in the NRL.
You're holding him in.
He won't be used to making mistakes. Not 3 in a row.
No, not of this one. Not of that calibre.
Brilliant offload.
There's that late offload.
Salford had a lot of success in their victory in France with a lot of the offloads. Okay, trying to find likewise Mitch Garbutt.
Gigo makes the tackle.
Go 3.
Addy, little shimmy from him, little chip kick over the top, and Drinkwater will chase into open space there. Tierney goes back and eventually has to bundle the ball over the dead ball line under pressure from the chasing Drinkwater.
Great work from Drinkwater there. He obviously saw Sam Tompkins. He looked up and saw Sam Tompkins at A defender on the short side, and he's just dinked it in behind, and the foot race was on. Tierney shows some speed there. He is quick.
Okay, mate.
Well, there's the offload. Danny Addy started as a hooker today. Finds Will Dagger, the fullback, pushing up in support. That second phase player then brought Sam Tompkins forward, and Drinkwater was quick enough to see it and react. This gives him a goal line dropout. Oh, he's kicked it relatively far.
But into the wind, the ball hanging, and Lawler runs it back. Albert trying to break free of his tackle.
Well, that's poor defence for them, could put him on the floor.
You can't keep him standing up like that. That just heats the ruck up. Quick, another quick ruck here by Garbutt.
Bird trying to slow things down. Here's Maguire now. Maguire runs into Kenny Edwards. Edwards seems to have recovered from that knock to the knee. Seems to get another one from his captain there. Casti wanted. And they get the penalty to hold.
Would you go for goal here just to try and settle things down, or no? The KO are going for it. Good on him. Oh, hang on.
Josh Drinkwater is.
Oh, yeah.
He's the goal.
See the goals come down some Tim Sheens, and then
eventually Joel Tompkins pointed towards the posts. Bit of a debate though.
It might be a good way of just settling down KR here. They might just need this 2 points. Just get them ahead. Have a bit of scoreboard pressure on there, and get a good set off the kickoff.
20 minutes gone, 21 minutes gone, and first points you'd have thought coming up for Hull Kingston Rovers through the boot of Craig Hall.
Well, he kicked him very well last week, made some important ones under pressure.
Superb one from Maguire's try.
In the victory against Wakefield, this isn't quite as hard, but there's still some pressure on it to put them 2-0 up.
All on target. And Hull Kingston Rovers go 2-0 up. Craig Hall's 6th goal of the season then.
And I suppose the talk now for the Catalan Dragons is to remember what they wanted to do 20 minutes ago, 20 minutes plus, staying with that plan. If that's what they believe was going to get them the win.
Exactly, they'll want to use this wind here, get the kick up nice and high and not let them out of their 40-metre line. Which they've been pretty good this early doors here.
Tompkins restarts into that corner, Maguire underneath it. Last year the Catalan Dragons went down to defeat on this ground. It's back in the early stages of the season, back in February. 23-4 the scoreline on that day. Catalan got their revenge at home in the regular season. It was close, 18-16. On balls. Garbutt had lost that for a moment. Here is Haraki now. Head clash. Moa goes into it, and there's, I think it's Whitley, is it?
Well, that's unfortunate. The referee, I don't think he's seen it. Greg Bird is injured.
Who is spark out.
Is it Sam Moore who comes around?
I think him and Sam Moore just had a little sickening head clash there behind. Here that goes, and Wishka off.
Greg Bird is not
doesn't look well.
Physio's on, and Greg Bird in trouble, making his first start of the season. Greg Bird, and it hasn't been a particularly pleasurable experience for one reason or another.
He's not had much fun, has he, this afternoon? Spinning the tackle. A lot of the Hull kit are forward spinning in the tackle.
Yep.
And on this occasion, it's Haraki, isn't it? We've seen Lawler do it. Garbutt attempts it. He spins out of the first tackle there from Moore, and then, wow, that angle shows us clear contact with the head. Let's just hope here now for all the medical staff. Catalan have enough time here. Sam Moore also being
sick too. Look at him
taken care of.
Down in his haunches, but yeah, like you said, Phil, a lot of KR forwards are spinning out of tackles, and that's just a byproduct of not having good first up contact, isn't it? If your first up contact is good, is strong, is solid, there's no way that attacker can do any spinning. So that's something Catalans might need to have a look at half time.
Well, they could be losing 2 players to concussion assessment.
He's in the rules. I didn't realise.
Greg Bird looked as though he was out cold when he.
Yeah, I think we just heard the referee as well then, just saying, explaining and apologising that he didn't realise the player was injured when he awarded that penalty, which is understandable. He seems to be okay, doesn't he? There seems to be movement here now. This is a pleasing sign, some early signals.
He's responding to him. He's hopefully get the thumbs up and he can walk off himself and do the HIA.
Sam Moore is probably going to need that assessment as well.
If anything, Sam Moore seems to be in a worse condition now than he was when it first happened for the first 30 seconds.
At least Bird's up on his haunches. Sam Moore spark out on the floor there, which is a little concerning.
And a chance here for both teams to get together and talk about what they were trying to do again, what they thought was going to give them success this afternoon. Spinning in the tackle was one of the things for Rovers, and then just instant head clash. But we see them, Greg Bird back up on his feet, receiving the best wishes.
Good to see at least Bird's going off on his own accord.
There's the blood on the side of his head, I think, on the right side of his head.
Drinkwater has a word with his former teammate. Knowing players, it'll be something really sympathetic.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. I think, especially being a halfback, Drinkwater, they're not usually cheeky, are they?
Well, we have Ashton Sims with us for this game at Craven Park, and he'll be with the commentary team for Toronto against Batley as well, which follows next on Sky Sports Arena. The Wolfpack against the Bulldogs from the Championship. And Sam Moore being led from the field as well. So Catalan with problems.
Good to see they're both walking off themselves though. It's never a good sight seeing someone knocked out or someone unconscious on the floor. As much as it's a rough and tough game that we play, and we like to play it hard, we also like to make sure guys are going home to their families that night fully healthy.
Jason Baitieri is one of the players to come on.
He's one of these kicks to touch. How far does he go this time? Well, not quite as ambitious. He still makes 20 metres.
Wait on the foot. Wait!
And that pause in play can sometimes lead to a lapse in concentration in defence.
Move!
And Julien Bousquet, it looks, is the other. That'd be the logical thing. Bousquet and Baitieri then on the field in place of Moa and Greg Bird. And Hull Kingston Rovers on the attack. Here is Wella Haraki. He's had a very prominent start to this game. Oh, and a poor ball.
Aimed at Catalan's right-hand side again there. They've obviously seen something on the tape during the week to show that there's a bit of a weakness on Catalan's right edge, but they just can't execute it at the moment.
Jake Bibby found one last week for Salford. Had a field day.
He's not had any great service, has he, Will Oakes, at the moment. He's had a couple of runs, nothing to show for it.
Tell you when, mate.
Second row in. Staying interested in the game when it's not going your way, you're playing on the wing, you're not getting a lot of opportunities. It's almost like a goalkeeper in football, to concentrate when the player and the action is not close to you.
But that's your job description, isn't it? Is to stay focused. I know it can be a little bit at times. You can lapse in and out of games, but yeah, if you're serious about your craft, and that's part of your job description. Is concentrating for the full 80 minutes.
Here is Jason Baitieri now.
Goal free.
29 years of age he is, and Bousquet off the bench likewise.
Move!
He's got a bit of time to go. He's still only 27, Julien Bousquet.
Well, he's a hard player to pull down and control.
Look at the size of him. Yeah, he's huge, and he pushes. It's like he pushes off the back fence every single carry. He carries it so hard, gets his big elbows up.
But again, without repeating myself, this isn't a problem for Catalan. They've got big men who can get them downfield. This penalty will help them to get into a closer position. But have they got the craft here, the invention?
That last pass,
creativity.
Right pass, yep.
Well, we'll see maybe on this set, because the penalty for that high tackle from Danny Addy gives the Catalan Dragons an opportunity now. Lucas Albert. Baitieri, as usual.
This is what they need. They need a little bit of ruck speed here to get KO on their back foot.
But that's good defence, great defence. Jimmy Kindhorst up quickly on Sam Tompkins. Then Braden Williami darts down the short side, Fuad Yaha. Well, he took the pass and very nearly got bundled into the sidelines, but he did well to stay in the field of play. Kenny Edwards now, short pass for Casti.
Oh, he couldn't go closer.
Casti,
Hold the line, hold.
scorer. Oh, he's lost the ball. He's lost the ball, it's a penalty. There was a hand in
We're still
there.
in contact.
And Casti asks, shall we go for two?
Well, I thought, it was an amazing play from the centre, Braden Williami. He had three men in, he almost put it on a plate, didn't he, for Fuad Yaha, but he couldn't get the ground.
It was a great line from Castro. It just opened up for him by the looks of it, and he's just called for two straight away. Let's get back level pegging.
What's the time in it, though, Ben?
Must fancy themselves in Golden Point.
The news from the sidelines is that, not surprisingly, Sam Moa not likely to return for the Catalan Dragons. Jenna Brooks down there for us today.
Yeah, that's it, mate, yeah.
And
Just on the line, guys, please,
we'll
on
get
that goal
word
line.
of Greg Bird's prospects as well. Penalty, and they do decide to go for two. It's ironic, really, because both sides haven't been shy about giving the ball a bit of width, and yet we're going to reach the half-hour mark with just a penalty apiece. And Rovers will be ruining one or two missed opportunities as Tompkins levels the scores.
It's hard in these conditions to know which side are favoured with the wind in the first 40. He's put that over without too much difficulty. You suspect here, with this up play the ball, I thought maybe the knee comes in.
Yeah, a little knee from Lynette there, but I've seen them go either way.
Greg Bird has in this game.
Low kick there from Dagger. Didn't get it back on that occasion, but they've had some success with the restarts this year. Baitieri charges back.
Hull Kingston Rovers, difficult prospect on their own pitch this season. They've lost only once, and that they should have won against Salford. They were leading 22-8, and they managed to lose it 22-24. Throwing away a lead.
This is a great set after points for Catalans. This is what they'd want. Up 50 with 2 tackles to go.
Full.
Busquets plays the ball. Here is Casti. And Casti has left.
That's a coach killer.
Another.
Only tackle 5. It's just after a good set from Catalan as well. It's just put KR right back on the back foot.
It's deemed a high tackle, isn't it?
Exactly.
Swinging with the arm.
Yeah.
Is it the change of direction late by Casti?
He does. He's got a really good late change of direction. He also keeps his body lean quite low. So if you go in, if you go in even at where you think you're going to hit him around the chest, his body height just goes down. And it's sort of like he leads with his face, which is probably not a great career move, but he seems to have done it well. He's been the form prop for the last 12 months in the Super League.
Terry O'Connor took that route.
Well, I'm no Royal Painting, so I won't laugh too hard.
Here's Baitieri then, another penalty for the Catalan Dragons, gives them good territory. And Busquets edges it towards those posts, still looking for the first try of the game here at Craven Park. Is it going to come to the team in blue, with Tompkins now trying to find a way through? Maguire and Kindhorse with the tackle. Edwards gets the pass away to Matty Smith. Here is Casti again, gets the pass back to Gigot. Smith puts a little kick in. Tierney will chase, but well swept up by Will Oakes before Tierney could get there, and they will counter now. Will Hulkings to Rovers. And Oakes it is who's coming away with it. Good break.
It's a brilliant run by the winger, but just look how many blue shirts were back. That's impressive. Yep. They really did scramble them when the line had been broken. Better than I've seen so far this season with them. Referee says they're not back inside quick enough, though. And a penalty here for offside. Look, now starting to fall out. He's an emotional character, Tony Gigot.
He is. He plays with his heart on his sleeve, Gigot. But the kick in behind, I thought it was a little too early. I thought that they had another tackle up their sleeve. It's easy to say it now, because if that went past the KR defender and they scored a try, it would have been great. But good run here by Oakes. He looks quick, and they've just...
Casti has picked up a knock. And he's
got a bit of a gash on the top of the head.
Field. He won't want to. Remy Casti. But
the thing here is KR, you've got to do it for player safety, but they'd want to be just, come on, let's go, let's keep moving. They've burst them at the seams here a little bit. They just want to keep playing. A little bit of friendly fire. Let's go.
Surely he can't continue like that, can he?
Come on, guys.
He is.
Way on the floor, way.
Running down his nose at the moment, but he really is committed to the Catalan causes.
They've taken one to the opens if they go back to the left here.
Drinkwater, short pass. Lawler showing up so well in the opening half hour of this game, and Addy fancied it, gets the ball away. Lawler couldn't take the pass, put the knockers on him. I'm not sure he was expecting that, and Catalan celebrate. Solid defence.
Well, that is positive from the Dragons. They had the line broken with Will Oakes, they got back to recover. They then had to defend their own try line. And look, there's enough desperation, commitment and desire here. Kenny Edwards celebrates as if they've just saved 4 points at least, if not possibly 6.
Great tackle from Sammy Tompkins there. You love seeing that in your fullback. You love seeing your fullback getting into gritty stuff, especially down on your own line where, well, I think he might have copped a knock on in that tackle as well.
Well, it's Remy Casti, isn't it? There was a time where as soon as you bled when it first came in the Rugby League in the 80s, you'd have to leave the field. Seems less concerned with blood injuries than we now know with head injuries, understandably so. And he's going to have to come off, I'm sure.
Can you just take him over that line? That's
been hit by the bus.
It probably hurt Julie Busquets because it would have been his chin or jaw, wasn't it?
Chin, jaw sort of teeth.
To split the head.
Well, Busquets might want to check his nashes at half-time, make sure none of them would lose.
Yeah, he's off.
Well, Catalan now have lost 3 players to head knocks. Greg Bird, Samoa, now Remy Casti.
Time on.
But they survived there.
One, move, get square,
replacements.
Hold.
Here is Mikel Gudemond, the latest player to come onto the field for them then.
He always seems to add value.
Go, 2.
Relatively young French players burst onto the scene.
There they go.
Lucas Albert has his first run. We're not seeing a lot from that.
Good run from Albert. Linnet could have been penalised there. Gigot, Busquet, he's going to get through some work. Doing a dance with Lawler, and then Gigot will go and try and put a little bit of footwork on them. Short pass for Lucas Albert.
Move, mates, work back.
Beg your pardon. It was Gudemond, and there is Gigot now. Gigot, short pass from him. Gudemond with a little kick ahead, it ricochets, and
Goal line drop out, Ben.
the referee going to see that one. And Gigot is really laying down the law.
He's having a go at him for kicking through, isn't he?
He's giving him everything with the kitchen sink.
I tell you what, this is really, it's like a halfback.
Yeah.
We thought it was Lucas Albert. He picked and took it in one. Video ref's just going to check this here to see exactly who it came off. Gudemond kicks on there. Not quite clear from my eyes.
Okay, mate.
Dagger is the man who turns his back
Did it come
on
off him to finish? Did it come off his left knee to finish? To go over the dead ball line?
Okay, stay on. Okay, Craig.
Yeah.
Ready, mate.
Maintain the same decision.
Okay.
Played at that ball, there was a little flick of the heel at it, so booming goal line dropout. And it's Matty Smith who collects that inside his own half. Here is 19-year-old Gudemond.
Stayed on his feet again though, good on him, kid.
Kenny Edwards.
Release, two, hold. Hold. Go, two.
Lucas Albert. I think the word from the sideline is that Greg Bird is not coming back either. Moa and Bird out for the rest of the game. I wonder if Remy Casty's going to be available. Tierney, nice little step inside. Tierney cutting his way to the line, still going, Lewis Tierney. Good footwork from the wingman. They're that close. Matty Smith, ball back on the inside to Jason Baitieri, it was forwards.
Well, you have to compliment Hull KR's defence there. They'd had the line broken, they were all back, but quickly up enough to close down Sam Tompkins. Tries to pass that ball back inside. It's difficult when your body's facing that way to pass the ball backwards legitimately on the inside. Lewis Tierney, brilliant run from him to get them into position. But they've blown another attacking opportunity here.
I think they're going to have to try and do a little bit more of that with Tierney, especially with Bird and Moa. Probably not, maybe not coming back for the rest of the game, and couldn't maybe even Custry. So they're going to have to find a little point of brilliance from someone. It might be like a Tierney or a Viliami.
At the moment, it's Hull Kingston Rovers in possession with Jimmy Kinehorst, who made himself a home favourite the first day of the season with the winning try against Hull FC to seal the victory. Here is Garbutt now.
Move on the 10, wait. 4-3.
Lawler.
4, move man.
He's got through bags of
It's a
work.
mountain of work. I don't think he's gone off yet.
He's a good player,
He is.
good player.
Punches well above his weight too. He's not big, but he's got the height behind.
Go.
Making up for his disappointment in 20.
I'll just give him commentators.
Good on the last when they give him the ball like that, though, is he? I don't know what the thought was there.
Not like. Here we go, guys.
It's all about here now. We're coming to the vital 6 minutes to half-time. One team's desperate to get their first 6 points. You know, it was all going relatively well for Catalan last week until the minute before half-time, and the minute after it, they conceded 10 points in those 2 minutes.
Okay.
Maintaining the concentration at the end and the start of the next period.
Well, they're in possession
Hold.
with Braden Viliami.
George, another step.
On the run
2.
from
Move.
Fuad Yaha.
2.
Went to the referee for a penalty there, did the Catalan Dragons. Whitley now. Whitley. Haraki and Drinkwater making the tackle.
Trying to manufacture something from nothing there. They need to get back to their
Play the ball.
They need to get back to their points and put their plays back on.
Gudemond again.
4. Move. Keep
He's
coming.
19.
Hold.
He's actually 23 now.
Go. 4.
Mikhail Gudemond.
They've got numbers here.
Can they get the pass wide? Williami.
5. Move.
Great cover by Joel Tompkins.
Hold.
Tompkins with the tackle. Stray pass. Scudamon now. Sam Tompkins. He puts the kick in. Oh, Whitley couldn't pick it up.
Turnover.
If he had done,
the last tackle.
Rovers were wrong-footed and he might have found a way through.
Well, I admire the grit. They're hanging in this. They're clearly not where they want to be this season in terms of their attacking game.
Okay,
and maybe you don't end up having a disastrous match to a brilliant one the week after. You might, if you're lucky, work hard and pick up a win, which is what they're trying to do here in difficult circumstances.
It's just like they're one or two. Oh, geez, that's a rough pass on your 20-minute line. But they're one or two good sets away from probably finding that bit of a niche, finding that bit of a groove where they've probably worked all pre-season for. But just so far this game, they just haven't found a groove to play out of yet.
Goal 3.
Coming up towards half-time, just a penalty apiece then, with the sunshine at Craven Park. Great conditions.
Goal 4. 40.
Certainly compared with what they faced last week. 40-20 opportunity, but the ball too strong.
Was that Chris Atkin who's come on there now? Late in this first half.
Passed it.
Picked it up.
Just wait.
Kicked from that position.
Wait!
Atkin on for Danny Addy.
7 tackles for the Dragons. I wonder if they get their outside backs in. Here's Yaha.
Takes the first stint
0
for the Catalan side as Fouad Yaha back in rugby league after his brief spell with Union Club Agen in France. Got a couple of tries and 4 appearances for them. With the French international, but Catalan glad to welcome him back.
Ooh.
Craig.
2. Move.
Fearless run. Not like of effort or bravery from Samason and Langit.
Matty Smith dodges away from the first challenge. Comes across the field, Smith, trying to open up the Rovers' defence. Kane Lennox stood his ground. Here is Bousquet now.
4. Move, Chris.
Lawler down low to make the tackle. Matty Smith now. Smith.
5.
He's brought down by Joel Tompkins. Gigot dinks that ball up into the air. Fouad Yaha climbs but can't stay in the field of play. Claimed the ball but ran out of room.
He just picked up a little knock too, Yaha. You know, another day it might have just been on, but that breeze is just making it so difficult for the players out there, especially the kickers.
Well, Fouad Yaha didn't look too comfortable when he got back to his feet there, holding his knee. Just at the top of your picture there, seems to be okay. Don't need any more casualties, the Catalan Dragons. They've lost 3 players in the first half. Bird and Moa not coming back for sure.
Move. Hold, guys, hold.
They'll be hoping that Remy Casti is restored to fitness. Little kick, and that's one for Craig Hall to chase. It's going to be too strong, just touching goal it is. The post bent by the wind there.
Well, he got the crowd on that side of the field excited. Craig Hall charging down for it, but it always looked like it was going to beat him, didn't it? He couldn't get there to the point in time.
Matty.
He's got to tap the ball in the middle. That big white line's usually a good indicator of where the referee wants you to stand.
Just wait, Matt. Wait till he's back.
So Braden Williami's hopes of glory dashed.
Okay.
Ian Proctor sitting alongside me just pointed out we might have expected this, given that these two sides managed only 1 try between them last week. Catalan Dragons were nilled by Salford, and Danny Maguire scored the only try of the game at Wakefield.
Well, talking about that, you might think, is this a shot for a drop goal here at the end? If they can get far enough downfield, you've got not a lot to lose, really, have you, at the end of this?
Could very well.
Oh, they might. If the wind was in their favour.
Yeah. They're going to have to kick it out quickly if they can try and get 2 plays for that drop goal. As silly as that might sound going in at 3-2 half-time, it just might prove to be something at the end.
Sam Tompkins kicked one from this distance against Warrington to win the game.
Well, he probably thinks it's a free shot. He's got very little to lose. Otherwise, our half-time highlights are just 2 penalty goals. It might make it 3 here.
Unless the wind is strong enough to keep the ball in play.
Yeah, I get that. Let me control it.
And Will Oakes goes the length of the field and gets there this time.
Well, do you remember Catalan took a penalty goal at half-time at Wakefield last year. It didn't make the distance. Liam Finn chipped over and Tom Johnston scored a length of the field effort. So we could be, it was my contender for try of the season. Sam Tompkins wasn't at the Catalan Dragons when they did this. It was the exact same scenario.
Well, this is an even further out attempt for Sam Tompkins than the one he landed to clinch the victory against Warrington a couple of weeks ago. He's really going to have to give this one some oomph. Tompkins to put Catalan Dragons in front, no way! And it does go out of play in the end. So an opportunity to just nudge the Catalan Dragons in front goes wide for the Catalan Dragons and Sam Tompkins after a real battle of attrition in the first half. Catalan Dragons losing 2 players to injury, that's for sure, but they've managed to stay in the battle with Hull Kingston Rovers. Not a try to be seen in the first half. It's going to be an interesting second, that's for sure.
Shoulder into the ribs and then leg drive from that point.
Life has its own rhythm. It's always changing, forever moving from one day to the next. Which is why with O2, you have the flexibility to spread the cost of your phone between 3 and 36 months for a lower monthly bill. Search O2 Custom Plans, phone plans that move with the rhythm of your life.
Look, it's me. Giving out my credit card details. Sharing my passwords with strangers. Being hackers' best friend. Your sensitive online data is just as open to snoopers on public Wi-Fi. Connect to NordVPN. Help protect your privacy and enjoy advanced internet security. Download NordVPN now. 30-day money-back guarantee.
Say hello to Otto Sergey.
Hello, I'm here to simplify your life.
Otto Sergey is just like real Sergey, but without the fleas. So relax while he do all the stuff you don't want to. Let's start with energy. If he thinks you're paying too much,
I just found you a better energy deal. Would you like to switch?
Sure.
High five.
See how Otto Sergey could make switching the energy easier. Compare the market. Keep life simple.
Imagine a luxurious Caribbean holiday designed exclusively for couples. At Sandals Resorts, love is all you need because the best of everything is included. Now imagine a Caribbean holiday created for families. At Beaches Resorts, they have more quality inclusions than you can imagine. Sandals and Beaches, voted the world's leading all-inclusive resorts. Sail now on. Call 0800 742 7.
Now available on demand.
When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die.
Game of Thrones, every episode available now with the ultimate on-demand pack.
Enemies to the north. Enemies to the south. Whatever stands in our way, we will defeat it.
Rules are really simple. Win. That's all that matters.
This is the Riviera, darling. People get away with everything.
I do not take well to threats, okay?
Let's move! Secure that warhead.
All I want is vengeance, and it will be had.
The enemy is real. It's always been real.
You've got to grind the team down.
There are 3 great NRL games to look forward to next week on Sky Sports. St George Illawarra Dragons take on South Sydney, 8:45 a.m. next Thursday on Sky Sports Arena. On Friday, the Raiders host the Storms, 6:55 a.m. on Arena for that one. And on Friday, Broncos against the Cowboys, 8:50 on Arena for those NRL games. Beautiful sunny Sunday in East Yorkshire. Not a try to be seen though, between Hull Kingston Rovers and the Catalan Dragons. 2 points apiece, one successful penalty goal. Not for the lack of trying, Phil Clark and Ashton Sims.
Well, it has been a first half of interest. Hull KR started well with the deep kick to the corner from Josh Drinkwater, but this roll just over the sideline with the help of Sam Tompkins.
Yeah, just went a little bit too far, but it was great vision from Drinkwater. And here we see Kane Lynette on a beautiful line. He's just, Tompkins, great tackle, just held up just before the line. Great little interchange play there between the 10 and the 13. Bird, I thought he was a little bit unlucky first go here, but then the second one he's just sort of released the ball upon playing, getting up to try and play it.
We then saw what impact the wind has on this game here, probably primarily on the behind the backs of the Hull KR side as we see Greg Bird. Look at this penalty kick to touch from Craig Hall.
Craig Hall's
gains almost 60 metres. And it did put Hull Kingston Rovers into a great attacking position, which Joel Tompkins attempted to convert.
He's just trying to go over the top of brother Sam there, but Sam's not going. He's going to deny him this time. He's been brilliant. He's been brilliant this first half, Sam Tompkins, and we get Bird here again. A little bit of action on the ball there from Lynette. Ball goes loose, but referee deems it to be an error.
Well, yeah, he was frustrated. That was obviously before he received the bang to the head, which is taken from the field. Hull Kingston Rovers had very little option but to, in a low-scoring game, put themselves on the scoreboard with 2 points from that penalty. And then
this is the sickening blow here with Mower and Bird. There was a penalty on the back of that, but Bird couldn't do much when he's sparked out on the floor. Castri's gone straight for 2, worked hard for that. And then this is Biscay just hitting his skipper on the top of the head, and there was claret everywhere. But
you know, they did get frustrated if anything there. They then had the penalty at half time, just as the hooter sounded. Sam Tompkins' kick, well, you can see the wind clearly took it out of direction there. And from that point, well, the stats from the first half, unsurprisingly, though, with a 2-2 score, the possession was shared pretty evenly, and we've had very relatively little errors from the Catalan side. They've completed very high, but they're still seeing a high number of missed tackles. And
to be fair, there's not too many missed tackles there, is there? But this would be the highlight would be the completion rate. Both coaches wouldn't be happy with that. You can't complete at 60 and 68% and expect to win the game. So I think that'd be what Tim Sheens and McNamara would be telling his troops, is especially in these conditions, this breeze.
Yep, room for improvement from both these sides. Second week running that Hull Kingston Rovers have found themselves level at 2 points apiece. They emerged victorious in the game against Wakefield, coming up with the only try in that contest. Is it going to go that way this time, or will one of these two sides find a way to the try line in the second half? We'll find out very shortly when Hull Kingston Rovers and the Catalan Dragons resume.
With advanced dual action, it removes deep set and dark surface stains for up to 3 shades whiter teeth. Reveal your whiter smile. With new Colgate Expert Anti-Stain, you've got it.
Rise up from the dead, the land of the living, no rest for the wicked. We working on the weekend, we can. Blaze out, we spook like the dust in the Get busy.
This is what luxury included feels like. Chefs are creating masterpieces. The staff are making their finishing touches. Bartenders are shaking things up. Butlers are preparing for your arrival. When can we expect you? Sandals, the 5-star luxury included resorts. Call 0800 742 742.
Look, it's me. Giving out my credit card details. Sharing my passwords with strangers. Being hackers' best friend. Your sensitive online data is just as open to snoopers on public Wi-Fi. Connect to NordVPN. Help protect your privacy and enjoy advanced internet security. Download NordVPN now. 30-day money-back guarantee.
I need your assistance. You want me to help put you in the State Attorney General's office? There's something that I need in return.
Take them out.
All I want is vengeance, and it will be had.
Billions. Wednesday at 9 on Sky Atlantic.
Now available on demand.
Welcome to Westworld.
Have you ever questioned the nature of your reality? Are you real?
Well, if you can't tell, does it matter?
You may not like what you find. This is the only place in the world where you get to see people for who they really are.
The critically acclaimed Westworld. Every episode available now with the Ultimate On Demand pack.
That was an absolute wicked kick, that.
There's more Betfred Super League action to look forward to next week. Thursday night sees Wakefield Trinity host the Warrington Wolves. 7 o'clock, Sky Sports Arena for what should be a cracking game, that, as it should be on Friday night, 7 o'clock, again on Arena for the Castleford Tigers against the Super League leaders, St Helens. And then can Leeds find a way back to form? They visit the Catalan Dragons. 5 p.m. Sky Sports action for that game in Perpignan next Saturday. Coming up, the second half of this game between Hull Kingston Rovers and the Catalan Dragons. 2 points apiece, 1 penalty goal each. There has only been one Super League game that finished trialless in the history of the competition. That was 2007, when Salford beat Harlequins 5-2. Remy Casti is back on the field, and he and his opposition captains, Joel Tompkins, will be hoping that their side can find a way over the try line in this second half, which gets underway. And the Catalan Dragons, with this wind at their backs, can they make it tell? Here is Julien Bousquet now, but will the injuries... OK, Casti is back out there, but Mower and Bird gone for the game, Ashton.
Well, now they're down to 15 now, so they're playing 40 minutes with 15 players. We're going to see how much backbone Catalans have got here, but my biggest thing is I think they just need to get their completions up. That'd be the huge message coming out from McNamara at half-time. Let's complete, let's put the pressure right back on Hull KR here on their own turf.
But almost the same message from Tim Sheens, presumably.
I think so, 60%.
Well, Matty Smith at the end of this set puts a good kick in, and they'll be pretty pleased with that. Deep into Hull Kingston Rovers territory.
Well, they've started, haven't they? They've controlled the ball, they've got to the other end of the field. They find the intensity now in the defence here to force an error. Well, Kingston Rovers players walk back there. I think they'll be relatively content. It just depends how big a bearing this wind plays now on the second 40.
I just think Catalan's here as well. They just need to front load their energy in defence, especially with this breeze. This breeze could be a potentially a 10-point breeze that KR probably didn't take advantage of in that first half.
Chris Atkin is out there for Hull Kingston Rovers. Maguire's short ball.
It was well taken by Kindhorst, who defended brilliantly in the first half. A lot of traffic thrown at him, but made some great decisions.
Signed from the Leeds Rhinos, as was this man, Mitch Garbett. Good recruits.
He's been strong since he's been on, Mitch Garbett. He's picked up where he's left off for this year. And so's Lawler there. I know I put the commentator curse on him just before half-time, but yeah, they've both been very strong in their stints.
Kane Linnett plays the ball. Maguire.
Oh, nice, they do that well.
The inside to Lawler. Lawler, was it taken high there? The Rovers supporters felt so. Casti was looking anxiously towards the referee there as Drinkwater puts a good kick in. Tierney hesitated, he's still hesitating, and he almost paid the price.
Well, that's a brilliant kick from Drinkwater. Brilliant kick. Well, it's difficult. The wind is swirling. It's got such an has such an impact here on what takes place. He thinks, well, when's the ball bounce going to sit up for me? Junior Vaivai pulls off that tackle, gives them possession again.
That's exactly what Hull KR want coming out of half-time. A nice 80-metre set there, and just on the end of it, a byproduct of that is a repeat set.
Do you know, Hull KR have scored twice as many tries with kicks involved than any other side in Super League. They really are effective at putting those accurate kicks, those attacking ones in, and coming up with a try.
Garbett winds himself up and just comes powering back towards.
Shot out of a cannon. Go on, Big Mitchy.
And eventually Casti and Whitley made the tackle. Here is George Lawler.
Move, Lucas!
Going to mention he broke his leg in 2018, missed a big chunk of the season, so he's got some ground to make up. Garbett there, ball in one hand, couldn't find anybody to dump it on. And eventually he's brought down, but this is a great opportunity for Hull Kingston Rovers now. Haraki, the ball in the hands of Kinehorse. Kinehorse, little back pass to Craig Hall, but the Catalan defence does well there, and then Hall comes back in field. Tompkins and Busquet with the tackle. Atkin now, short pass from Atkin, and the defence opens up, and Haraki gets the first try of the game, his second of the season. And it was there for Wella Haraki, a gaping hole in the Catalan Dragons' defence. And Wella Haraki breaks the try-scoring deadlock in this game. Celebrates with Junior Vaivai.
It was a delayed pass from the player of the ball. I wasn't sure whether they'd gone forward initially, but Chris Atkin holds it the first time, and just look what an impact that does to the Catalan defenders. They're unsure who to go for. Haraki times his run patiently, just holds back a pause, knowing that he has to be behind the ball passer before he gets to it.
That try had a lot to do with the play before too, scheming back through the middle there. It just breaks up those middle defenders, and Atkin, beautiful ball to Haraki for 4 points underneath the sticks, soon to be 6.
You saw Tierney and Gigo heading towards referee James Child there to protest about that pass. Do you think it was forward?
I did lie, but when we've seen those replays, I didn't think it was. I thought it was a legitimate one, because I think that Haraki just times his run. He just hits the brakes momentarily. It was Josh Drinkwater's kick, though, that set all of this up, wasn't it? Then the goal line dropout. Having a scrum half, a creative ball passer behind the play. Well, here's another shot for it. No, I think he does. I don't think it goes forward at all.
I think that's all right. But like you just said then, Phil, the pressure built on the back of that repeat set got that try as well.
8-2 the scoreline. First try of the game, and it's gone to Hull Kingston Rovers and Wella Haraki. Second of the season. He got one in the home loss against Salford. Broken the deadlock here, and that'll disappoint Catalan, because they've defended strongly for this game so far, but they were flat-footed there.
Keep coming, Remy.
I think they were anticipating wider attacking play, weren't they? Didn't consider Haraki as a real option. Not chain passing really without being too threatening.
Well, Catalan's slide defence, just like that, Catalan's slide defence from the get-go, from the kickoff, has been brilliant. It was just that little lapse, that little mental lapse of right near the post was what got Haraki the 4 points.
Kicks drilled down the sidelines and fielded by Sam Tompkins. One of the big name signings that the Catalan Dragons made for this new season. Almost. He was tempted there, wasn't he? Samisoni Lange was close.
You've got a feeling he's going to have to play a big role in this second half, isn't he? They might just need that little bit of magic from one of their big plays, and certainly Sam Tompkins is one guy over the years who's shown he can do that.
Lucas Albert now. Fuad Yaha.
Great tackle again, wasn't it? A team tackle. Garbett, Lawler, Tompkins.
Tries yet for Fuad Yaha since his return from rugby union.
Tony Gigo attempts a 40-20, but it's a 40-30, and that won't get them the ball back.
Kicked a few of those last season, did Gigo, but no joy.
So a little win there for Hull KR defensively. It wasn't a great set from Catalans. They'll get their ball back 30 metres off their own line.
Good start, second half.
Teammates Drinkwater and Gigo just have a word as this scrum packs down. Players running the clock down.
Heads in, heads in.
And
Shot
head and
clock
feed
off.
to Hull Kingston Rovers.
Oh.
Here is the try scorer, Wella Haraki.
Held! Release! One hold.
Kenny Edwards with the tackle. Garbett now.
Finding the balance between controlling the game because you're 6 points ahead, but knowing that you probably need to score again is the test there for Hull.
Most certainly. I know it's been a very low-scoring game, but I don't know if 6 points is going to be enough to just shut up shop with half an hour to go.
Hold.
Catalan Dragons went into this game shell-shocked after suffering their heaviest ever home defeat last time out with that 46-0 reverse against the Salford Red Devils. And I think Steve McNamara has had a good response here. There's way to go yet. And here comes Joel Tompkins. The ball in one hand. Tompkins going all the way for a magical try. Joel Tompkins taking on the Catalan Dragons defence on his own. He had players in support. But Tompkins back in the side to lead Helkingston Rovers today was just going to take him on his own.
Well, I said Sam Tompkins had to do something pretty special to keep his team in the game, but it's his brother Joel here. Look at him, just holding that like a mango or something. Look at him go, missed it.
Well, it's not the first forward, is it? We saw Mitch Garber do before. Joel Tompkins, as you say, holds it almost like a tennis ball, teasing the defenders. They're unsure where it's going to go, where he's going to go. And he sidesteps his little brother and goes over here for what could be a crucial 10-point lead, which his side hope to make to 12 here. 2 tries in a 5-minute period. And this is the test of how strong mentally now the Catalan Dragons are. Under pressure, behind on the scoreboard, away from home, in a form rut, I should say.
Okay, guys. 1 minute.
18, I beg your pardon, 12-2, the scoreline. Joel Tompkins, his other try came in the 18-16 win against Hull FC on the opening day of the season. That was a great try. And back-to-back tries for Hull Kingston Rovers have got their supporters really roaring now. And Craig Hall will look to add 2 more points, his 3rd success of the game.
The KR faithful, they can feel that momentum shift, can't they? 2 tries in the space of 5 minutes when they saw no tries in the space of 40 in that first half.
Craig Hall's going to need a little bit of assistance. Keep this ball on the kicking tee. Chris Atkin, the man whose fingers are in the way, drifts across the face of the posts. 12 points to 2. It's not beyond the Dragons yet. Way to go yet.
And that quick play the ball there, got them rolling forward. Look at the evasion there and the handoff. Grounds it easily in the end.
He beat about 15 blokes, didn't he? Look at that. He's such a good player. He's a real lightning rod for this team, I think. You know, he's the captain. He's the one all the other players want to look up to, and they see him doing well like that. I think they'll give the other players a big boost as Moss Massot comes out. Geez, he got met by Catalan. It's a fair welcoming committee.
Well, if Catalan can come back from this stage here now, it'd be remarkable. This really would turn their year around, which has been to a stuttering start to so far. I know they've lost a couple of forwards, but we'll see what character they've got now in the remaining half an hour.
9th in the table going into this game, the Catalan Dragons. They face Leeds next. Leeds, who are below them in that Super League table. That takes some believing. Leeds and Wigan down in the bottom 3. But Leeds will be looking to try and turn their season round when they go to Perpignan. Again, you can see
Benjamin
on Sky Sports, Julien has charged that kick down. He has the chance, but he can't get to the line. He has now. Was he tackled? Yes, he was. The referee says it's a penalty. Benjamin Julien cannot believe it. It's a double movement.
Poor man, he did all the hard work. He did everything right, except he just wanted to take that little bit too much.
It's a game breaker. It is. You know, charging the kick down, he's done it before in previous Super League games. He's gone for the pickup. It's not an easy thing to do when moving at speed. And then the referee's determined that the tackle had been completed. I don't think we'll
technically, technically the tackle probably was completed, but he probably didn't feel anyone on top of him, Benjamin Julien, and he's just trying to take that little bit too much. Well, it's
such a tough call here now.
It's a fine line.
You know, I'm not convinced there, was it, that the tackle, the referee has to make a live call. He's done his best. Can't criticise him for that, but that is bad luck.
There is a video ref at this game. Ben Thaler is available to consult. Well, Benjamin Julien had literally come onto the field. That was his first involvement
I spent a lot of time at Warrington where charging down kicks under Tony Smith was a big thing for you, wasn't it?
And Benji, he was probably one of the best exponents. Himself and Ben Curry were two of the best guys at it. And that's like I said before, he did all the hard work. He just tried to take that little bit too much.
Little kick comes in, sits up for Sam Tompkins, and Willows comes in to make the tackle. Well, not going to be the Catalan Dragons afternoon.
It could be, yeah.
They do get the penalty.
There's a long time left. If they've got enough desire and commitment, if they're desperate enough to win this game, they'll get closer. I'm not saying they'll win it, but they'll narrow that 10-point gap.
It is. It's like you said. It's only 10 points, but playing with 15 players this last half an hour going to take a big toll.
I've seen teams win when they've got 12 players playing against 13. Right. So you know it's possible if you really they can get themselves.
Desire's going to play a massive part here for the Catalans.
Well, they might be spurred on if they're feeling hard done by after that decision to deny Benjamin Julian the try. Remy Casti, he'll take it personally. Will the Catalan Dragons captain?
Hand on ball.
And there's a hand in there. A shake of the head from Wella Haraki.
Well, in great field position too. Catalans, I don't think they should. I don't think they should go for
better than this. Penalty.
Go for touch here. Just play on. Let's play. Tap it and go.
That's what they're going to do. And Jason Baicieri will take the first tilt at the Hull Kingston Rovers defence.
This needs to be a quick play the ball and let's play up.
Samisoni Langi, Matty Smith. Oh, poor pass. But Williami manages to retrieve the situation. And Fuad Yaha scrambles a few more metres. Williami down the short side, trying to use his strength, but he is held up. Maguire with the tackle. Mess of a play, the ball. Edwards goes backwards. The ball finds Samisoni Langi. Langi weaving his way across field.
Keep it alive.
He does so. Casti, they're sort of hemmed in by Rovers defenders, and eventually Garbett makes the tackle on Casti. Mossy Masoi adds his weight to proceedings. Matty Smith back to Sam Tompkins. Tompkins puts the brakes on. Haraki and Mossy Masoi with the tackle on that occasion. Could be another penalty there.
Need to repeat set at least.
Oh, stray pass again. It goes behind Fuad Yaha. He will feint to kick across field and then try and straighten it up. Yaha still going the wingman. Gets the pass away. Gigot. You'd think it was the final minutes of the game.
No, but they need to show some enterprise, I feel, don't they? I mean, the way they've played for 50 minutes hasn't created many breaks or chances, so they have to try and keep the ball alive.
At the moment it doesn't feel like their structure's going to break down Hull KR, so maybe they need to manufacture something about this, something like that, some offloads, some off-the-cuff kind of play.
The combination between the scrum half, the standoff and the fullback hasn't really looked as if that it's going to create many chances for their outside backs.
To see Gigot get involved, don't you?
Yeah,
he has got the key.
He could be, yeah. Like I said about Tompkins before, they're going to have to look at someone like him to maybe manufacture something out of nothing.
Meanwhile, Hull KR keep it steady. Drinkwater drills that kick into touch. The wind still blustering around this ground. Josh Drinkwater
time off. You're going to stay in that
21
now.
appearances
Lewis, you're up loose forward.
for the Catalan Dragons last year.
That's where I called time off. That's what it was.
But they chose
Just wait.
to go with Matty Smith for this season.
Okay, let's form in. 10 seconds.
Had a big influence on the club.
Wait, Tony.
What a year he had, especially the Challenge Cup as well. The Challenge Cup win, probably the best.
You're out to loose forward.
The biggest highlight of his career, I'd say.
Here is Samisoni Langi now.
Well, on me. Wait.
Mossy Masoi makes the tackle. Lewis Tierney. Scampering running style. There's not a lot of him. He's one of the smallest wingers around Tierney. They'll get the penalty. Well, the Catalan Dragons.
Pass the ball into desperate men do desperate things, and this side are really needing something, aren't they? Mitch Garbett's trying to run back to get on position, and I think Sam Tompkins throws the ball at him.
It's smart. It's smart.
Well, I did speak to the first half about penalties and how people should be getting. let's just get that one.
Just
We're now going to sort it out.
To Joel Tompkins, the thinking behind that decision. 12-2, the scoreline. This game still very much in the melting pot. The Catalan Dragons enjoying a good spell of possession here, but they need to turn it into points. Gudemand with the run. Had a great 2018, Michael Gudemand, because he didn't just win the English Cup, he won the French Cup as well with Saint-Estève Tres Catalan. Here is Baitieri.
They're hitting that ruck up now. They need to find something off the back of this.
Lucas Albert is looking for it. Albert gets the pass away to Gudemand, but Tompkins is there. Great defence from the Rovers captain. He stopped Gudemand in his tracks there. Albert gets the pass away to Matty Smith. Short pass, finds Whitley, but again, good defence.
With that late offload, here we go, Gigo.
Here's Gigo now. Gigo trying to weave his way through. Turns, comes away to Matty Smith. Smith fires the ball out wide. They've got the numbers here now, and it's Braden Williame who does get over the try line for the Catalan Dragons in the end. It looked as though for a moment he'd taken the wrong option. He had Fouad Yahar outside him, but he went on his own to the centre.
We alluded to before about these late offloads and someone trying to manufacture something from nothing, and this is what it can bring. A brilliant offload here from Whitley, I think it was. A really late offload. Look, the whole KR guys they're getting back into the line. Gigo finding another little offload. And Matty Smith, a beautiful ball out wide for Williame, who I played with him for Fiji a couple of years ago, and he's stronger than he looks. He looks wiry, but he's a lot stronger than his physique shows.
Well, by the time that Jimmy Kainos gets out here to Williame, the distance is covered, sets Williame the advantage. He breaks through that first tackle, and he's too strong for Danny Maguire from that range. His team are back in now. That penalty kick to touch gave them the field position. They had lots of hard runs, but it needed that second and third phase possession to break up some of the structure that Hull KR's defence is, which has been outstanding near the line. And can this kick go over? And they pulled it to the left with the wind. 12-6.
Didn't give it enough. What would Eddie say? Golfing terminology.
Draw. You've got to draw that between the posts. I don't know what I'm talking about there. I just know that I've got a more of a snap hook than a draw.
Oh, look, it's the long ball there from Smith.
Beautiful.
Backed his centre, didn't it? There wasn't a lot of space, but he did enough to ride through the tackles. This game looks like he's got golden point written all over it for me here. Just over 20 minutes to go. 6 points behind.
Well, Gigo's your man if it comes to golden point for the Catalan Dragons.
One, move!
Braden Williame then getting his 4th try of the season. The former Manly man. And 12-6 the scoreline, coming up to the hour mark. So plenty of time left for this game to be won and lost.
Move!
Remember, the Catalan Dragons are down in numbers. Here is Matt Whitley. His offload helped create that try.
Brilliant set so far after points. This is exactly what you want. They're on their 40 with one more play down the short side.
And they've got an overlap here. Samisoni Langi, ball back on the inside, and Lucas Albert will make it back-to-back tries for the Catalan Dragons. Under the posts. The scores are going to be level in a minute if Tompkins can hit the target. And Lucas Albert, who got the nod in this game for his first appearance of the season, gets his first try of the season.
Well, outstanding here, vision, wasn't it, on the short side. 2 attackers, only 1 defender. Samisoni Langi spotted the chance, pressed the accelerator, pushed through the gap and made sure that with that inside support, they were going to make this conversion a little easier.
You can see Langi with his eyes up, just picking on Haraki, who was coming back a bit slow. Haraki's been absolutely brilliant all game. He's had a massive 60 minutes, but he's just had that little lapse in the that only takes Langi, 5-10 metres to just burn past him, and Catalans, it's game on.
Well, this is a good turnaround for the Dragons. Williame's try, followed by Lucas Albert's try.
They were very glad that Albert's attempt here to get this ball as close to the goalpost. Obviously, you can't tell watching, but the swirling wind makes this even a difficult conversion.
Sam Tompkins, but no problem for him. 12 points apiece, 2-2 at half-time. We asked where the tries were going to come from. Well, they found a way through.
Well, there's times in the game when you need to accelerate, you need to go faster than your opponents, and that was the particular play. Sami Sonilangi recognised it, reacted, and now his team are back level.
Brilliant anticipation from Albert back in the middle too, wasn't it? That's exactly what you want from your halves and your nines. Is guys who are going to anticipate that kind of stuff, and Langi's showed over the years that he's got that foot speed.
Well, here's the creator, Sami Sonilangi. Who set up the opportunity for Lucas Albert to score his first Super League try for exactly 12 months. And the last one he scored was in Hull. It was up the road against Hull FC. There must be something in the air in Hull for Lucas Albert, because he's on the score sheet again. And Julien Bousquet in possession. Here is Lucas Albert. Kenny Edwards. Tompkins and Kinehorst doing the tackling.
Another good set after points. Let's see how this kick is.
Smith hoists the ball. It's hanging in the air. They've let it bounce, and it's going to bounce up. Is it for Tompkins? Not quite. Almost a third try for the Catalan Dragons there. Craig Hall it was who made it dead in the end, but that kick and that wind.
I'll tell you what, you're playing with fire with fullback, letting the ball bounce like that, and Dagger probably just misjudged it just a little bit, but thank goodness Hall's there at the back to clean it all up. But I'll tell you what, Catalans, they're coming back, they're coming down Breeze pretty hard here.
So Hall will launch this back into the wind, and that's not a bad effort. Bobbling again on the drying surface here, and Gudeman runs it back. It's all Catalan at the moment.
Hasn't he been strong since he's come on, Gudeman? Has not taken a backward step once. And they're going to need him to. Sorry, they're going to need him to without Mower and Bird.
Baitieri just flopping to the ground there, maybe hoping for something in his favour from the match official. Nothing coming. The ball with Whitley. Well, Kingston Rovers' defensive line looking solid there. Whitley is upended by Mitch Garbett. Here is Gigot to Bousquet now. Bousquet runs into Tompkins and Lawler. Addy comes in to help with the tackling. Lucas Albert, Matty Smith, Edwards. Oh, that's intercepted! And Craig Hall is quick. Will they catch him? The cover's coming across, but Hall's heading for the corner. Look at Tierney. Tierney is trying to close him down, and Hall gets that ball down, I'm sure. Or did he?
Does he ground it? Is the right foot hit the touching goal line before he's down? Good work by the official. He was checking. He thinks it's a try, but he wants the video referee to confirm this. Craig Hall loves an interception. We've seen him do this many times in his career, but probably none of the more crucial one than this. Does the ball hit the goal? First it's on the fly.
Look, I thought yes, but
no, there's a try.
Never in doubt.
Tierney and Yaha trying to deny Craig Hall, but they can't. Ben Thaler's had a quick look at that. The try is awarded, and Hull Kingston Rovers hit back with their prolific point scorer Craig Hall getting his 4th try of the season.
Well, I suppose there's two ways of defending on the wing. One's to stop the attack, the other's to go for the ball, and he certainly preferred the latter.
And he did it. That's the byproduct of proactive defence. Sometimes if you be proactive and move up there, your defence scores yourself tries, just like Craig Hall's done here, but just missed it. Kenny Edwards at ball out the back, just missed the target in Tompkins. If that ball went to hand to Tompkins, I'm sure Tompkins would have found the winger there, but full credit to Craig Hall. He anticipated it. He thought it was going to come. Yaha's come in hard late. So is Tierney, but he's definitely got the ball down.
Well, what a reversal that is, because Hull Kingston Rovers have been on the ropes. Catalan
completely against the run of play. Is that the try that takes Kayard all the way here for two valuable Super League points?
Well, he kicked one from this sort of distance and angle against Wakefield last week after Danny Maguire scored, but he can't land that one. But it's put Hull Kingston Rovers back in the lead.
The size of opposition put 10 points on the scoreboard in less than 3 or 4 minutes. They had to be the next to score. Things were getting a little bit nervous for the home team and their supporters. And Craig Hall still has the pace with the ball to go the length here now.
Time off.
4-point advantage.
Not a try to be seen in the first 40 minutes. We've had 5 tries in 24 minutes.
You've got to love rugby league.
And I think we might see 1 or 2 more before this game is over.
Just stand up and play it.
You can see the wind bending the trees at that open end of the ground. And here is Scarlett now. Have Catalan got a response again now? Because they've responded well once. It takes some doing a second time.
Yeah.
A lot of time here.
Here is Mossy Masoi. Good run from him. Almost round the corner.
Goal 3.
They're rolling forwards well here now, Hull Kingston Rovers. Addy over the halfway line.
Hold.
Maguire fires the pass to Tompkins. Ooh. Tompkins and Kinehorse. Well, he was clattered there, but he managed to keep his feet and keep the ball. That's the 5th tackle, and Maguire.
Great game management.
Little kick to the corner.
Great set after points, though. That's exactly what you want. Get up the other end of the field with no errors. Let's make them rock it out of their own half.
Time off. Stay in those
Well, the Dragons are going to bring on some fresher legs. Remy Casti looked on the sideline, though. He's about to come back in here for the last 13 or so minutes.
You can't change.
It's creative players, try scorers that they need, not just willing workers, I think.
Heads in.
Matt Whitley's been impressive for them in his time for the Catalan Dragons. Players like him.
He's been. I'm really impressed with Whitley. He's been impressive for the last couple of years. But at Witness over there, and I think it was a great pickup from Catalan. So let's see if he can conjure up something here on the right edge as well.
Move, Jimmy. Mossy, hold. Go, well done, mate.
Lucas Albert claps his hands. Gudimon.
Hold the
He's tackled by Danny Addy. Down the short side they come. And somehow Kenny Edwards gets away from Danny Maguire at the first attempt. Maguire comes back for a second, aided by Kinehorst. Albert. Now here is Remy Casti. Casti just runs it straight back into thick of things.
Move around, Mossy, hold.
Lucas Albert, he's done well in that emergency hooking role. They've hoisted that kick again. Matty Smith has lofted it. Oh, the ball is batted back, and it's going to be a second try for Lucas Albert, or is it?
I think he's pulled it back.
Sam Tompkins was the one who got up to contest for it. But I think the referee was in an excellent position, stood alongside as this ball comes down. You can see him there. He says, no, instantly it's gone forwards. And it's gone forwards from Sam Tompkins. That was his call. And Lucas Albert is frustrated as he gets to his feet and sees it's a handover.
Surrender! Stand! Hold Remy.
The 10-metre line.
Catalans need a result off this defensive sequence here. They need to try and keep him within the 50-metre line. Try and get him to pop up a kick in this breeze, because this breeze is playing a massive role today.
Was it my imagination? There's very few penalties in this second half.
It's been pretty free-flowing, yeah.
Move!
Pretty dour, tryless first 40 minutes, but nevertheless it was good contest, and then some really sparkling stuff in the second half. Down the short side they come, and they are playing it safe, Hull Kingston Rovers. Maybe a dangerous option.
Oh, whenever possible, they just want to find the sideline, don't they? They give the players a chance to rest here and get ready to defend and be in the right position for that. The pressure now is on the French side. They're the ones who've got to find some speed, find some urgency. The referee stopped the clock.
Look at Kenny Edwards. You can just see him hobbling back into the line. That's that knee
from hampered from that knee in the first half, yeah. But just on the back of what Phil said, it's a little bit daunting when you're Catalan. You're looking up and you've got 90 metres to go, and you know you're 4 points behind. So
shot clock off. Ball in.
They've got to find something here in this set. Get some early ruck speed here. Get some early ruck speed. Get Hull KR on their back foot, and deliver the killer blow.
Here is Busquet. Baitieri, I beg your pardon. Tompkins gets hold of an ankle.
Play the ball, go.
And Lucas Albert picks it up and goes. Good run from Lucas Albert. First hooking appearance, and he's got the job. Michael McIlorum out for a while. Alrix da Costa not fit. Edwards gets the pass back in field. Gigot now. Gigot's pass on. Kindhorse was there. Kindhorse snaps it up, and another attacking opportunity goes.
Well, and a penalty to compound things as well here, but that break was amazing. You know, one thing you can say about Tony Gigot, he'll always take a risk. He'll try and chance his arm, keep the ball free.
Take your time, mate.
Freed it into the arms of Jimmy Kindhorse, and then he's been hit high around the head.
Just picked his pocket, didn't he, Jimmy Kindhorse? Brilliant anticipation. And
Kenny Edwards is a danger, though, isn't he? That ball where he breaks through the defenders.
On one leg. Matt Whitley, the culprit.
It was a gorgeous offload from Edwards to the back to the middle, but you know, Catalans, they're still not out of it. 10 minutes to go, 4 points.
Okay, the pressure's on them now to find a try. To kill this one off.
Casti was looking at the referee and complaining that that ball had come loose briefly, but referee James Child had a good eye on it. Here's Junior Vaivai now. Can Hull Kingston Rovers put this game to bed? Drinkwater.
Surrender!
Albert with the tackle.
Hold.
Into the last 10 minutes here. Maguire steps back in field. Runs into a dragon sandwich there.
Play on,
Addy.
play it.
Referee says play on. Little kick comes through. Tompkins, superb hands under pressure there.
Great position.
Sam Tompkins.
Great positioning there from Tompkins. Catalans, they need to find. They really need to find something here.
Move,
penalty.
Be nice with this.
Garbutt, shake of the head.
Well, this is what you want out of a game of Super League. To go into the last 10 minutes with the game still in the balance, one team under pressure, one team desperate here now to find points. Okay, and the supporters nervous now. They'll be back in the one half of the field here when Matt Whitley plays this ball.
Whitley goes back where he came from under pressure from Wella Haraki, Junior Vaivai. Samusoni again. He had some joy up that side not so long ago. Tierney now. Matty Smith, the Rovers defence have got to be on the alert here. Busquet is upended. Baitieri, short pass, and Casti runs straight into Garbutt. Lucas Albert now. Matty Smith. Smith fall over the top is wild, and Fuad Yaha gets the ball, and Craig Hall at the same time.
He was just trying to thread the needle there, wasn't he, Matty Smith, to hit the winger, but here they go, they put another one up in the air.
And Sam Tompkins, you knew as soon as he launched that ball, it wasn't where he wanted it to be. And Will Oakes will counter again.
Great return by the winger there now. Look, he's got Haraki charging on it next.
On Busquet, little hand in there, that would be a penalty. Protests his innocence, but that was blatant.
They earned that penalty, didn't they, by those two? Brilliant ruck forward straight off. Haraki just getting up, trying to get up quick. Busquets just trying to hold him down just that little bit longer so he can get up at marker, but
the best way for Hull to avoid being nervous in the last 60 seconds and holding on the line is to score again next. Although they've lost possession here, what will the referee say? Scrum down, yes, Catalan ball.
Look at Gigot, so animated.
Hold on, we've got a man down here.
Addy shakes his head, furious.
All up, shot clock on.
Well, the referee might say it was pulled out.
Positions.
He said no, the Catalan get the ball.
There is still time for more drama in this game.
Wait.
Head and feed then for the Catalan Dragons. Just inside their own half.
Penalise them. If they don't put the players in the scrum, penalise them.
Get in! Okay, shot clock off. Time's
Not sure where they stood with the shot clock there. Whitley.
Move!
Addy with the tackle.
You're holding him in, Matt.
They don't need to concede another penalty here. Hull Kingston Rovers in their urgency, their anxiety, nerves now in the Rovers camp. They're not home and dry yet. Here is Casti towards the middle of the field.
Keep coming.
shrugs off the challenge of Atkin. Matty Smith now. Smith for Tompkins. Samisoni Langi gets away from the first, from the second. Still going, Samisoni Langi.
Run!
Tierney was on his outside. He takes the tackle. There is Tierney now. Matty Smith. Smith.
There's got to be space out here on the left.
They've run out of options and they've lost the ball. It went backwards. There's still opportunity here now. It's Williami. It's Williami dodging his way to the line. He can't get there. The last tackle. They're on that try line. Rovers surely offside. Tompkins. Here is Matty Smith now. But they've got the numbers there of Rovers. Samisoni Langi chases. Tierney chases. Tierney gets the try. Does he? He does. Tierney with the try levels the scores.
How about that lead? How about that lead-up play, huh?
Where's this been from the Catalan Dragons? For 50 minutes they showed nothing really in attack. There was no sense of adventure, there was no excitement. And all of a sudden they've sprung to life here. The kick's a brilliant one. Tierney's onside and he gets there first. At first he had an opportunity wide on the left. Smith lost the ball, but it did go backwards. And they played on. They threw it out to the left centre. He had a charge downfield. Williami's turned back inside. And there's enough desperate cover with Kaido to prevent him from scoring. Then they swing it back to the right. Eventually goes to Samisoni Langi. And that kick is a perfect one for Tierney, who grounds inside, competing with his winger. 16-all. What a pressure kick now this is for the Dragons.
KR, they did all the hard work, didn't they? They did all the hard work. They were tying in, they were going up and out in defence. They did all that fine. It was just a brilliant little individual display by Langi and Tierney.
What drama then here at Craven Park in the last 5 minutes of this game. And the kick that Sam Tompkins faces in the last minutes of this game to put Catalan Dragons into the lead. Oh, dear me. In front of that packed terrace, the wind swirling around. It's a difficult kick for Sam Tompkins. Rover supporters trying to put him off. Tompkins is on target despite all that. And the Catalan Dragons go into the lead for the first time. Tierney's try, goal by Tompkins.
Well, there's two pieces of brilliant kicking play here, isn't there? The kick from Samisoni Langi there, with defenders ahead of you. To get the weighting of that right is absolutely brilliant. And then that conversion in these conditions, with this pressure. His team haven't been playing well recently, but a short restart here now. Falls back to Sam Tompkins.
Still time for Hull Kingston Rovers to get back it, well, to get level, to win this game. And the way this second half has gone, you wouldn't put their big ball.
Not at all. 4 minutes to go, so at least 2 attacking sets, 2 defensive sets that Catalan have to try and muster the energy up for here. But I tell you what a Herculean effort from Catalans in his second half with Moa and Bird out.
Absolutely. Operating for a long period of this game with only 15 players. And Kenny Edwards on one leg. Shigo puts the kick in. That was just too casual. And Rovers get the ball back. Didn't find touch. Rovers would still have got the ball back.
It was going to play, wasn't it?
They need a big burst of energy here, don't they? Catalans do, and so do Rovers.
Well, Atkins back on the field. They very often pass the ball wide and then pass it back to the centre. He's done well to take that in.
Addy, a little step. You saw Adam Rooks, the 20-year-old, on the field. There he is, I think, making his debut. What a time to come on for your debut in these sort of dramatic circumstances.
He could make himself a terrace legend here over at Craven Park.
They keep the ball alive. Here is Drinkwater, but he is toppled by the Catalan tacklers. Now Maguire, he came up with something at the end. Oh, the ball is intercepted, and Gigo could settle the issue here. He's got support from Tierney, but instead he takes the tackle from Drinkwater. And Gigo, has he picked up an injury there? He's got that knee problem. He pulled up. But he did have Tierney in support. Here is Tompkins now. Tompkins, Braden Williami, his footwork has been a real thorn in the side of the Hull Kingston Rovers defence. 2 minutes on the clock here. Catalan clinging on for what would be their first away win of the season. Kenny Edwards plays the ball. Maguire couldn't get out of the way. No penalty forthcoming there. Here is Baitieri. There's still going to be time for the Robins, you feel, to have a say in how this game pans out. Here is Matty Smith. Smith for Casti, he was just about standing still, but he's still got time to look at Matty Smith and just ask the question there. Here is Lucas Albert. Matty Smith finds Edwards. Edwards bats off the first challenge from Kainos. The players are out on their feet. That's the turnover.
Pretty smart play there, if you ask me. A kick, if it goes dead, there's 7 tackles in 1 minute. They need to find something here.
What an effort this has been. Will Dagger with a good strong run. Where's Will Oakes? Maybe Will Oakes is the man. He has got the pace. Here is Junior Vaivai, but he has lost the ball. He's gone without it. Catalan have it back, and surely now Catalan have the win. Sam Tompkins.
Stand, hold on him. Wait.
Matty Smith urging his teammates to keep their calm. The Catalan Dragons, well, Steve McNamara wanted a response after the embarrassment of that hammering at home by Salford last week. The biggest ever home defeat. And he has got that response in bucket loads today, because they've come from behind to win this game, barring any more drama in the last few seconds. But the two sides have served up a really titanic struggle here. The ball with Gigo. Gigo to Casti. Casti takes the tackle. The hooter sounds. The referee's whistle blows for full time, and Remy Casti and his Catalan Dragons players have come up with an heroic performance here to take the win, their first away win of the season. And Samisoni Langi has been an integral part of this second half performance. And this was the try that won it in the end, and it was Langi with the kick, and it was Tierney with the touchdown, converted by Sam Tompkins. Tierney's third try of the season, the former Wigan man. Another former Wigan man, Sam Tompkins converting it. And Catalan Dragons will head home. Here is Tompkins keeping his cool to convert that try. And Hull Kingston Rovers must have thought in the second half, when they went into a 12-2 lead after Joel Tompkins' try, that they had this game. But they reckoned without the spirit and persistence of this Catalan Dragons side. Haraki, Tompkins and Hall, the try scorers for Hull Kingston Rovers. Hall with 2 goals. For the Dragons, Williami, Albert and Tierney, the tries. Sam Tompkins in 3 goals. To think this was 2-2 at half-time. Not a try to be seen. And we were talking about maybe the only second Super League game with no tries. Not a bit of it. 3 games to come then next week here on Sky Sports from Super League. Wakefield against Warrington, 7 o'clock on Sky Sports Arena next Thursday. On Friday, Castleford Tigers against St Helens, that's at 7 o'clock on Sky Sports Arena. And then on Saturday we'll see the Catalan Dragons again as they take on the Leeds Rhinos in Perpignan. Coming up next, Toronto Wolfpack against the Batley Bulldogs here on Sky Sports Arena. Thank you, Ashton Sims. Thanks, Phil Clark. Thank you, Hull Kingston Rovers and the Catalan Dragons, for a fabulous...
Sky Sports Arena. Feel it all.
Wonderful play. Down he goes on tackle number 5. Richardson goes back the same way. Short pass, personal for St Helens.
like Meet Me in Morocco, John?
I'm a big fan of red.
Kiwi jazz?
Have they got any blues?
Oh, John.
Oh.
That's it. How about Darling, my darling?
Oh.
And if that's not the perfect colour, we can choose another and get our money back.
Ooh, nice.
The Valspar Love Your Colour Guarantee. A second chance if you have second thoughts. Valspar Paint. Available at B&Q.
Sup, Sophie? You could save some serious money if you switch energy supplier. Now, you could do it yourself, or you can go with the pros. U-Switch help you find a better deal and handle the switch for you. Really? It's the easy plan. You just need your latest bill, and boom, they do the rest. Just go online or call and join the millions who save with U-Switch.
Yes! U-Switch. Switching made simple.
Is that my specials board?
No, we haven't talked about it openly.
Prefer to keep it private.
This is a touchy subject.
Well,
We have had a few issues.
it isn't easy talking to your family about money, but it is important. The M word from Lloyd's Bank. It's good to talk about money.
Wouldn't it be nice to keep things you normally lose? Well, unlike anyone else, Sky Mobile rolls over all your unused data for up to 3 years. So it's there when you need it most. Make the most of all that data on the new Samsung Galaxy S10. Sky Mobile.
Look, it's me. Giving out my credit card details. Sharing my passwords with strangers. Being hackers' best friend. Your sensitive online data is just as open to snoopers on public Wi-Fi. Connect to NordVPN. Help protect your privacy and enjoy advanced internet security. Download NordVPN now. 30-day money-back guarantee.
Welcome to KCOM Craven Park, home of Hull Kingston Rovers, where Toronto will look to bounce back from their first defeat of the season in Toulouse last week and reclaim top spot in the Betfred Championship. In their way this afternoon, a Batley side with just one win from their opening 6. Let's have a look at the way the two teams line up for this. Brian McDermott, the Toronto Wolfpack boss, makes 5 changes to the side, defeated across the Channel 8 days ago. Gareth O'Brien is the fullback, the 3/4, Matty Russell, Ricky Latelli, Chase Stanley and Jack Logan. The halfbacks, Blake Wallace alongside the skipper, Josh McCrone. The front row is Adam Sidlow, Andy Ackers, then without the Irish international, Bob Bezic on St Patrick's Day, Toronto, and Godwin Springer completes that front row. In the second row, it's Tom Alverson alongside Andrew Dixon, with John Wilkin, the loose forward. And on the bench for Toronto, it's Darcy Lussick, fellow Irish international Anthony Mullally, Ryan Brearley returns, and Brad Fash makes his debut. The former Hull FC man on the ground of his local rivals. The The Batley Bulldogs line up with Dave Scott at fullback, their three quarters, Niall Walker, Sam Wood, Lewis Galbraith and Johnny Campbell. They're without both half-backs from last week, Danny Yates.
discover the incredible stories and people behind some of the most legendary vehicles.
My American Pie.
Burning a little bit of rubber along the way.
You know you want mad.
All the best people are.
It's going to be lovely jubbly.
Yeah, David Jason, Planes, Trains and Automobiles starts Thursday the 28th of March, new and exclusive to Gold.
I think I'll take this home.
Book an appointment with the unsung zeros of the hospital.
You should assist me in my next operation.
What the hell is he doing here?
Where I go, he goes. Oh, something went wrong.
The brand new series continues.
Let's get this show on the